Right then, pretty easy shot. Should be able to get this one up on over that little slope. Not again, not again. Right, take two. This is it. Don't duff it like the last one. Don't duff it. Come on. Oh no! I bet we have all been there before. We're faced with a pretty simple chip where we've got quite a bit of green to work with. There's a slight undulation there in between me and the green and the flag, and we've all duffed them and we've all thinned them. Guys, in today's lesson, we're going to be getting rid of these horrible shot wasting shots that you are racking up big numbers around the green with. When you fat your chips, that means catch a load of ground before it, or when you thin your chips where it goes rocketing over the other side of the green. Like I say, I would imagine, and when I talk to quite a few of my lessons, it's an area where if we get a little bit better, if we get a bit more consistent and we're just getting strike to start off with and see that we're getting it to somewhere within a 15 to 20 foot circle every time, we're probably going to be lowering the scores, because I would imagine we've all had a couple of holes out there where we've duffed a few chips, and instead of just up and down in it or up and two putts and taking a 5 or a 4, we're writing a 6 or a 7 on a card. Guys, I'm Matt Fryer, and in today's lesson we're going to solve that problem, so let's get right into it. Okay, so those thinned and those fat chips. Firstly, we need to understand why they're happening. And one of the things that starts to happen when we get a little bit of a spell of bad chipping around the greens, we become very tentative. We almost don't want to execute the shot. We've got those demons running through the mind, and we're already waiting for it to go wrong before we've even taken the club away. So what that starts to actually do, and you may have picked it up in those first two shots that I hit, what you'll probably see from a lot of your playing partners or yourself if you're going through this issue is that you'd make a backswing, you may make a little bit too long of a backswing, and as you come down into impact, we almost stop. We don't let the club travel, and if we do sometimes, it's like there's a wall at where our hands are, and then the club head can sometimes flick past there, but we don't let our hands actually travel past our torso at all. We get them out past it on the way back, but then on the way through, it's stopping, and we either go violently into the ground, or like I say, the club head flicks past and we get that fat or that thin shot. So the first thing we need to try and start to actually alleviate is that problem of stopping through impact. We need to let the club actually go on the journey it wants to take. We need to start letting it actually swing through, keep a pretty constant tempo. There is a slight acceleration into impact, but we don't want to be having a real gradual acceleration and then stopping very quickly. We want to see that it's a nice smooth motion when we're letting the club just go on the journey that we want to. And the first thing that I want you to do, I'm going to take a cane here, and imagine my ball's here. I'm going to go right on the line of my lead heel, and then if I were to put my club out this way and stretch my hand, and I'm going to place my cane there, so it's going to be about 2 feet outside my lead heel. And what we're going to just start to do, we're going to take some practice swings. We're going to take our trail hand, so the backhand, the right hand for the right-handed golfer, and we're going to imagine now, if I was just chipping here, this chip's about 15 yards total. I only need to fly it through the air a little bit. So I don't need a big swing, I don't need a tiny swing, I just need something in the middle. But what I'm going to start to do is have some small one-handed swings. And as you notice here, my aim is to try and get this hand to match up with this cane outside my body now. Instead of it being here and stopping, I'm going back, I'm going through. And just notice as I make the motion here, I'm just turning my body and I'm looking towards my target, my finishing point as I go through. So I go and I turn, and it doesn't look like a really different stroke going back and forwards. It looks pretty much the same. There's, like I say, just this gradual acceleration into impact to my follow through. So here, and if you might be able to pick this up on the mic, I'm just getting a nice little brush on the turf. So now I'm just letting the club start to swing where it needs to go on its journey instead of cutting it off. Once we're happy with that, once we've got a few of those swings under our belt and seeing that we're actually letting it start to go towards where we need to, what we're going to do is actually chip one off, just one-handed, and we're not looking for the best chip in the world here. We're just looking to see if you can let the club carry on swinging and get a half decent strike. So trail hand on, nice light grip, and your big aim, like I say, is just to let the club swing through to where this cane matches. So we go here and through. Like I say, not the best strike in the world, but it was a million times better than those two at the start of the video. It's got up, it flighted, it went towards my target, and now, even there one-handed, I've got about a 12-foot putt instead of one that's below the slope or the other one that's thinned above the green. One of the other problems that I see when I'm giving lessons, when I'm looking at people's chipping, is a lot to do with actually getting it up in the air. Now, we know a chip should be something that's flighted. It spends quite a bit of time in the air and a little bit of time running. People try and actually help it up in the air too much. And the crazy thing is, you're using a club with loads of loft on it. I've got a 58 degree here, so it's going straight up in the sky. If I were to apply that there, that ball is going upwards. I don't need to try and flick it up in the air and do anything. I actually almost want to try and hit down on the golf ball to see that I get this really compressed, crisp strike. I want to get ball, then turf. And again, from that actual shutting off of the backswing, what we will see is something where, if we take the right palm, for instance, for the right-handed player, that starts to look up at the sky quite a lot. So we get hands stopping, club head passing by, and this palm flicking up a little bit. So the second part of this tip to help you get rid of your thinned and duffed chips, we're going to leave the cane here now. We're going to imagine now we take both hands on it. And what I want us to do is almost imagine that this is a bit of a wall here. We're going to try and place our trail palm onto the wall. So we'd be here and place it a little bit more. See that we're placing it. We're not trying to flick it up in the air and see that we're getting loads of loft on the club. We're just going to apply the loft that's actually already on the wedge. So I'd be here, and again, see that I've got my hands out to my cane, and this right hand now is placed on the wall. That will allow me to actually get some loft on it. I might de-loft it slightly, but for the purposes of getting crisp, solid chips to start off with, we need to get that strike going. So we've got letting the club swing a little bit more, letting it go on its journey it wants to, and then we've got the feeling of actually hitting it with the intended loft by letting that trail palm actually look at our target and place it onto the wall. So let's give that one a go. So now we've got the feeling of placing that trail palm onto the wall and looking at the target. Oh, really solid chip, that one. And again, it's pretty much identical to my one-handed chip, the side by side. So let's see if we can cap this off with a good one. Let the club travel. Got my cane still in here. Let that palm look towards the target. Let's see if I can get inside those two golf balls. Good crisp strike. Lovely. It's about 2 feet away. Look at that. Really simple, easy chip. So if you are someone who is wasting loads of shots around the green with them thinned and those duffed chip shots, just have a look back through this video. See if you can relate to that stopping down at impact. Can you feel that you're trying to scoop it up as you go through it? Watch it again and start to practice those tips. All you need is a cane or even just the feeling. Even a mirror could help you actually get the actual swinging through and letting the club travel, and then this feeling of your trail palm. Give it a go, guys. I guarantee that it's gonna sort your chipping out. You're gonna be getting a lot better chips. And like I say, don't be too harsh on yourself. Just try and get it to within 15, 20 feet to start off with, and the more confident you get, you can start to try and get it closer. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's totally free, and you'll get a free golf lesson every week to help you improve your golf this year. I've been Matt Fryer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another lesson.